Are you an alpha male or a beta male?
I don't know. I guess maybe both at different times. And I'm also like totally female sometimes, and sometimes.
You're totally female.
Absolutely.
Did you know that?
Yes,
Yes.
I love that about you.
You knew that he was a female sometimes? At some point?
Yeah, because I'm an alpha male
Yeah.
sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
See, I think like we can really decide what we want to be in this world, and if we have a penis, it doesn't mean we can't be female if we want to. I think it's really up to us to design our own narrative, and if I want to really embrace femininity and call myself female for a little while, I can totally do that, and why not?
What does that feel like to be a female?
Well, for me, I don't know what it feels like for other people.
Right,
For
for you,
me,
yeah.
tapping into femininity and getting really gentle and sweet and maybe a little submissive and wanting to have you be more tender with me, all those things feel female for me. I feel like I've been burdened with some cultural assumptions around malehood that really didn't serve me, that bottled up my emotions, Told me I couldn't cry, told me I couldn't express love in a certain way, told me I couldn't express affection in a certain way. So to be able to experience that, the flip side of that for me is maybe being able to say, I'm a woman right now, and I want to be treated like that.
That's amazing.
Yo, boy, guys, you can't make this S up. This couple are the most strangest of couples you can ever imagine. I came across this video, it's very weird, and I'm telling you, you're going to want to throw up by the time you listen to all the BS in this video. I don't want to give any spoiler, I just want you to watch the video for yourself. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get more videos like this. So without further ado, let's dive in.
There's a lot of talk now about open relationships and polyamory. I never heard it. Maybe I have, but I hadn't thought about it. I have with me Connor McMillan and Brittany Taylor of the YouTube channel Connor and Brittany, where they talk about relationships. And so I took a look at you guys' website last night, and I like the fact you're so open about it and talk about it.
Thank you.
I'm sure you get a lot of negative feedback, but at least you're open about it. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for
Okay.
having us.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. My first question would be, what is polyamory? How do you explain that? Either one of you.
Well, I think technically defined, it's like many loves. And so for us, like we really use it, we kind of adopted it more as a search term because it's helpful for YouTube. But for us, it looks more like just open style, fluid, undefined relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have a set structure, and a lot of times I think the default can be monogamy, and polyamory is kind of maybe the opposite, or maybe just like another variation of a relationship structure.
Yeah.
Would you add anything to
So
that?
to break it down a little bit, so it means that you guys, you're in a relationship, but you're not married, right?
Correct.
Right.
And
And so if you decide, if you were out today, you met this pretty woman, whatever pretty is to you, and you decide, wow, I want to be with her. You just take her and go and have sex with her.
No, I think there'd be a lot of steps before the sexual
before the
intercourse,
sex, right.
but we definitely do have a space for something like that to unfold.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to some other more traditional relationships where there's either an overt kind of contract or an unspoken kind of contract. Like in monogamy, maybe some assumptions around outside relationships. If you did something X, Y, or Z, that relationship would end.
Or that would be like cheating.
Right.
Because there's like some sort of rule defined, but we don't have defined rules at
So
all.
you guys don't have any rules at all about
Right.
having sex or being with other men or women? I mean, men or women?
We're open to lots of different genders. We're more non-traditional in gender, sexuality, and relationships. So for those purposes, it's kind of all open for us.
What does that mean, open for any other genders?
So I would define myself as pansexual, which is basically open to anyone on the gender scale. I base my attraction, on a human-to-human connection rather than genitalia. So that's the gender piece of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm black and slow. Does that mean that are you open to any other genders too, Brittany?
Yeah, for sure.
So does it mean you'll have sex with women or LGBTQ or homosexual, anybody?
For sure. Like I'm interested in other people that I'm attracted to, and I'm not really like gender is fun and exciting and interesting to me, but it's not like I don't have boundaries based on gender.
Really? That is amazing.
Yeah, and not only is it okay, it's like it's encouraged that we both want for one another's and really everybody's full authentic expression, and we love to support each other in that because it feels like not only is it a benefit to Connor when he experiences whatever types of relationships he's craving, but it's a benefit to me too.
Right.
How is it a benefit to you?
I really feel like everybody being the fullest expression of themselves is a benefit to the world. And I find that with Connor, like the more you can be more of your full self, the more you grow, the more we grow. And like anything that it could bring up for me that might be uncomfortable is things that I've decided like, I really want to work through that, or I want to understand myself better.
That is so interesting. I'm glad you guys are here.
Thanks for having us.
Have you ever walked in, Connor, and found Brittany having sex with somebody else?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
How would you handle that?
I don't know.
That because she's not cheating. It's not
Right.
like she's cheating. You already
Right.
have an agreement. How would you think you don't know until it happened, but
Right.
how do you imagine you would handle that? You walked in and they're Brittany moaning and carrying on with someone.
I don't know. I mean, I probably have a few different emotions come up all at once.
Yeah.
You know, just because we've been practicing this style of relationship doesn't mean that we don't feel jealousy or feel mixed emotions. But I definitely feel really excited when you are connecting with other people. I feel turned on by it. I feel turned on both sexually and like emotionally and mentally, that, like you said, I know you're getting your needs met. I know this is something you're choosing. I know this is you following through with a need or a want. And so that element excites me. And then additionally, I love watching you with other people, getting
same.
turned on. It's a turn on for me. So I don't know what exactly that would look like,
Right.
but I imagine it'd be pretty mixed.
It would be shocking.
It might be, yeah.
How did you become this way? A polyamory
It's a great
person.
question. Yeah, we both had really long-term monogamous relationships. Mine was actually
Yeah,
12
that's
years.
going to be my next question. Have you ever been
Yeah.
in a monogamous relationship?
Yeah, mine was from the age of 16 until I was 28. And I really thought that was it for me, and I was going to have a child with that person, and I just thought that was forever. And then she separated with me, and it wasn't my choice, and it was very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I also, through that process, got an opportunity to re-explore what I really wanted in my life. And relationships to me are one of the most important aspects of living. So I got to re-examine what is it I really want in relationship. And ultimately I found I wanted love, support, I wanted freedom. And those elements happen to work really well with our relationship structure.
And so you, after this breakup with this person, you decided, I'm gonna be in love, but I'm gonna be able to do what I want, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it was an unfolding process that
Right.
took maybe up to 2 years or so before I kind of maybe said it like that to
Right.
myself. It was kind of a learning and unfolding, but that was eventually the conclusion I got to, yeah.
Amazing. And how did you become this way?
Yeah, I guess similar in that I experienced a lot of monogamy in my life. I had a lot of like long-term partners in monogamous relationships. And I also felt like from a young age, I was naturally attracted to multiple people. And when I was younger, would like kind of have relationships with different people, and it felt really normal to me. But then like at different times it felt like, oh, I can't fully express myself because that would be like cheating. And but it feels like I have enough space to love this person and love this person. And so I feel like it was naturally in there for me as from a young age. And then I also had like a long-term partnership. I was married for a while, and when that ended, I felt like it was a really good relationship, and I decided to change, like to walk away from it, because I felt like it wasn't everything I wanted. I couldn't live like the life I fully wanted. And I felt like if I'm gonna leave this thing that's really good, then I'm gonna have like everything that I want. And a part of what I found was that like I really wanted the freedom, and I really wanted to be able to like choose each day what I was doing and not feel like I was being held back by some sort of rules or structure that didn't fully resonate with
So
me.
that means that you were in a long-term relationship, a monogamous relationship, and while in that relationship, you were desiring other people. You
Yeah.
wanted to be, but you couldn't because you felt that if you did it, you would be cheating.
Yeah.
And so once that relationship ended, you said no more relationship like that.
Yeah, and the bigger thing that felt like was like no more boundaries on my life that feel like, and so that was like another extension. Relationships were also really important to me. and another extension of that. And I didn't want to like start another relationship that felt confining.
How old were you when you first started getting into a relationship sexually? When you first had your sexual experience?
14.
14. And how old were you?
Yeah, 14 as well.
At the same age? Oh, yeah. What made you do it then at 14? That's real early in life. Why 14?
It felt really like natural for me. I feel I had been experiencing people like physical intimacy with people for a number of years, and I really loved my partner I was with. Not that I feel like it has to be that way, but I just felt really comfortable and excited about it, and my body felt excited about it, and just felt really natural for me.
And how about you? Why 14?
Yeah, I actually think I had a different experience than you.
Yeah, we
where
had different
I really
experiences.
feel like I had maybe some cultural influences of kind of ideas of what being a man was, and I was, going through puberty and really wanted to like be a man and do it early and do it soon, and ended up having sex with this girl who was a couple years older than me. We had done some cocaine. It wasn't really like a great first time. I didn't have any shame about it at the time. I still don't have necessarily shame about it, but I also feel like I would choose things differently for myself, at that time. But I think it was less about maybe the early age as it was about the circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this older woman seduce you, or you seduced her?
No, I think it was quite mutual.
Both
yeah.
of you were high, so everybody looking good.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and I think we were attracted to each other before that happened, but to
I
add that in,
understand that. Yeah.
it's like
I've been there, so I understand.
Yeah.
Would you be disappointed or hurt if Brittany found someone that decided, I don't want to do the polyamory thing again?
Oh, and like moved away from me.
Moved away from
Oh
you.
yeah, I'd be really that would hurt my heart a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely. But it wouldn't hurt me in a way where I would say that's bad and that's wrong. But it would be painful because I really love her and I really want to have a family with you. I want to raise our baby together. I want to have a very lifelong partnership with you.
Yeah,
so
same.
How long you guys been together?
So almost 5 years.
yeah.
Oh, really?
We're over 4
That's
and
a
half
long
now.
time.
Yeah.
So do your parents know about this?
Yes.
Your father, your mother, your father, your mother?
Yes.
You have sisters and brothers too?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do they all feel about this?
I mean, honestly, at that point, like at the point that I think we both, or at least I, started experiencing poly life,
Yeah.
it was like another weird thing I was doing, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah, I
Because-
think we've talked about this before. We've both done a lot of alternative things, maybe throughout our whole lives, and I think particularly as we've gotten older, maybe gotten
Yeah.
weirder. And so I think our families kind of expect a certain amount of that. And so when I did tell my parents very specifically, like, "Hey, we date other people," and it wasn't like they were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." They're like, "Oh, okay, I don't really understand that, but do your thing."
yeah.
Amazing. So, Brenda, you describe yourselves as sex positive. What
Yeah.
does sex positive mean? It sounds like a disease.
Wow. Well, for me, like it pretty simply means that I feel positive about sex.
Oh.
So I think that there can be a lot of different like cultural stigmas around sex that are negative. And I just feel like it's a really positive, beautiful, natural thing. And like there's so many great elements that can come along with it. So
Right.
my general attitude towards sex is positivity.
And what does that mean for you, sex positive? Same thing?
I mean, pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I'm not sure I would add much to it. We have seen a lot of shame around sex and sexuality,
Right.
and I think we all have experienced it, and we all have a lot of trauma because of it. And I think sexuality is a place that we can do a lot of healing as a culture. And it doesn't mean you have to sleep with a lot of people to be positive about sex. You can have a monogamous partnership and be positive about your sexual relationship with your partner.
You can have just a sexual relationship with yourself
Absolutely.
and be positive about
Right,
sex.
right.
Or not even be practicing.
That's
Sex play.
amazing. What is it like watching Brenda sexually please herself?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a turn on. I really love watching you please yourself. And it's a turn on just to watch you smile or like be happy or this kind of thing. So to watch you in a sexual space is, it's exhilarating.
Do you feel like getting involved, or you just hold off
I
from it?
think both.
Let her finish out herself?
Yeah, I think both things.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely like watching the entire experience, and also I think parts of me are like, yeah, I want to do that too. Let's
Right.
do that together. So
Interesting. Would you guys describe yourselves as heterosexuals, or how do you describe yourselves?
thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, I think, as I said, pansexuality is probably the closest thing that I would use, which is pretty much like undefined sexuality, the
Yeah.
potential of attraction towards anyone not based on gender. So gender is not necessarily part
Yeah.
of the equation.
I mean, again, like labels are hard for me because I feel like a label is somehow trying to define me in one way or another, but words that have felt like they resonate pretty well are like queer or fluid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do have maybe a more general attraction towards a certain gender, you know, but that's not strict. So therefore, I would say that, yeah, I'm definitely not heterosexual.
Amazing. So, Brittany, you're pregnant, right?
Yes.
And for Connor,
Yes,
right?
For you.
for me. Well, with me, but yes.
Oh,
For us?
boy, used the wrong word.
No, I like it.
And so, what is it like being pregnant and being a polyamory person?
Yes, this is a good question. It's been really amazing, actually. We decided we were going to create this life together a while ago and have been really intentional about it and really intentional about timing.
Yes.
And I was curious, you know, especially with people who I've had ongoing relationships with, like, oh, I wonder if they're still gonna be attracted to me as
Right.
my body changes. Like, I wonder who will want to be a part of this with us, or how I'll feel about my body and being in it. And it's just been really healing for me to be loved by people and to feel like my body's appreciated by people and to feel other people's excitement for our baby journey and like actually people really wanting to be a part of it.
And so, you've had sex with other people since you've been pregnant? Because you started, how many months?
6.
6 months. And have you had sex at 6 months with other people?
Yes.
And you take your clothes off and they see that you're pregnant?
Yes.
Do you feel funny or shy or anything?
I feel like in general, like body, like learning to feel really comfortable in my body is just like one of my own personal journeys. So yeah, like sometimes I feel like I'm not having a day where it's easy for me to appreciate my body and
Yeah.
I feel like this is hard. But I don't actually feel like it's been harder in pregnancy than like before. It's just a different variation of it.
And so if you got ready to get with another person, do you ask them, I'm pregnant here, do you mind if I take my clothes off and I'm not gonna look flat and the same, you know?
I haven't-
Do they have any problem with that?
I haven't had that come up because all the people who I've connected with intimately or who have seen me naked are all people who I have like established relationships with and who are excited about our pregnancy journey.
Oh, okay.
And all of them are really just think my body's beautiful. So I think like they're helping me see how I'm beautiful.
Amazing. So you have a video called How Do We Know Connor Is the Father? Can you tell us about that and how do you know he is the father?
Yeah, a lot of people were asking us, which was really interesting to us, but I guess it makes sense because people figure like...
'Cause I wonder that too right now,
Yeah.
since you're having sex with other people, and how do you know you're the father? I mean, Connor is the father.
Well, yeah, like we love being intentional about everything that we do in our lives and our relationships in our lives. So it was really important to us when we decided like, okay, this is the time where we want to conceive. And I track my cycle and I know when I'm fertile. And we decided during the cycles that we were planning to conceive that we really just wanted to share intimacy with one another.
Oh, I see. Do you ever wonder if you are the father?
No.
Does it cross your mind at all?
Not at all. No, I
mean,
know
Yeah, it's not
I know the
impossible.
place that we had sex. I know the time that we
time.
had sex. I know, like, yeah, because I've been a big part of Brittany tracking her cycle, and we've talked so much about it. I mean, we've been talking about having this child for
Like
about
2 years.
2 years before we actually conceived. So we've had a long plan of how that was going to unfold.
So, Brendan, are you going to stay polyamorous, amorous, now that you're pregnant?
Yeah,
Are you?
yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel great about it.
Oh, yeah? And how will you raise the child?
How do you mean?
Will the baby be, the child
How will
be,
we raise a child?
yes, polyamorous too, or?
Oh man,
Oh,
they're just going
they
to
get
do
to
whatever
do-
they want to
yeah,
do.
totally.
Yeah,
Will
we're
you
just there
let
to
them
support
know
and
you're
love them.
doing that? Will they be aware that that's what the parents are doing? You
I
guys
mean,
are doing?
I'm
I
sure
think
they'll-
it'll be really just like obvious, just like kids naturally understand the
Yeah.
lifestyles that they're brought up in. I think
They
it'll
pick
just
it
be
up.
like normal.
And we're really open to being very authentic and honest and open with any questions and curiosities they might have. So.
Were you raised by father and mother? Your father and mother?
Yes, mostly, although they're divorced, so they weren't living together.
Or they were divorced while you were growing up? Mm-hmm. How about you, Connor?
Yeah, I was raised by my mom and dad. Actually, we just got done visiting them in San Ynez. They're still together.
Oh, okay.
And I have an older brother, older sister.
Are you an alpha male or a beta male?
I don't know. I guess maybe both at different times. And I'm also like totally female sometimes, and
You
sometimes
told a female.
absolutely.
Did you know that?
Yes, I
Yes.
love that about you.
You knew that he was a female sometimes? At some
Yeah,
point?
yeah,
What-
because I'm an alpha male
Yeah.
sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
See, I think like we can really decide what we want to be in this world, and if we have a penis, it doesn't mean we can't be female if we want to. And
So you turn your penis into a vagina?
you could, but I don't
Emotionally?
think that makes you, just because you have a vagina doesn't necessarily make you female. I think it's really up to us to design our own narrative. And if I want to really embrace femininity and call myself female for a little while, I can totally do that. And why not? It's,
What does that feel like to be a female?
well, for me, I don't know what it feels like for other people.
Right,
For
for you,
me,
yeah.
tapping into femininity and getting really gentle and sweet and maybe a little submissive and wanting to have you be more tender with me, all those things feel female for me. That's not necessarily how other people would describe it, but for me, I like embodying that from time to time. And in sex play, sometimes I think that can come out and feels
sure.
really healing for me as a man, because we have been, I feel like I've been burdened with some cultural assumptions around malehood that really didn't serve me, that bottled up my emotions, you know? Told me I couldn't cry, told me I couldn't express love in a certain way, told me I couldn't express affection in a certain way. So to be able to experience that, the flip side of that for me is maybe being able to say, I'm a woman right now, and I want to be treated like that.
That's amazing. Isn't that amazing? So sometimes does Brindy treat you like a female when you're having sex?
Yes.
What does she do?
Sometimes we're just having normal sex, but I feel very much like a woman, and that could be it.
So like you, just so I can understand.
Yeah.
So when you feel like a woman, you say, "Come on, honey, treat me like a lady in bed today," right?
Maybe. I might not
That
say
would
it
be
out
nice,
loud,
but it's usually really clear.
Yeah.
By the way you're showing up.
yeah.
And so what would she get in bed and do to you?
So many different possibilities there.
Right, but I mean, we have so many different possibilities in any kind of gender style that we might be kind of showing up
Yeah,
as.
for sure. So that could come out in oral play. It could come out in intercourse. It could come out in like
Using
being
toys.
your strap-ons. Yeah.
So you use strap-ons on him when you feel like a woman in bed?
When we're both in the mood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes I feel like a man, and she uses strap-on
Yeah.
on me. So I mean, again, this
Oh,
isn't.
yeah?
It's not specific to any particular thing. It's
Right,
more like
of course.
the embodiment. What does this feel like for me? And again, like just to be able to say, I feel like a woman, for me, feels very healing. It feels very empowering, and it feels very empowering for my manhood as well, to be able to
Really?
experience that.
Does that scare you when you feel like a woman?
I love it.
It's
yeah.
making me scared right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it brings up for a lot,
Yeah, I
lot of
think
stuff for people.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
sometimes you feel like an alpha male.
Yeah, for sure.
And what is an alpha male feeling?
Well,
What does
it's,
that feel like?
I like that you said alpha male, so I kind of adopted that term, but I would
Yeah.
never have used that before. But I do feel like I have a lot of masculinity in me, and I like feeling more non-binary in gender and not feeling like I have to be like male or female. And I feel like a lot of the time I am more like have a more masculine role in our relationship and in my life and in the way I like take care of things. And yeah, for me it feels powerful, and it feels like I feel like there's a lot of strength in me in that way, and I was really like raised as a really strong person in that way, and it feels so natural to take care of you in that way.
Yeah.
Are you Christians?
I don't identify that way, no.
Have you ever identified as a Christian?
No.
How about you, Carter?
No, I went to a Presbyterian church when I was a kid, but I don't think I ever really identified myself as Christian.
Are you an atheist?
No.
How about you?
No.
You just non-binary?
I love that.